First time I noticed I was different from the people was probably back to the age of, God, how old was I? I'd probably say 5, 7 years old. As a kid, I was a very anxious person. I'd worry about the absolute littlest of things, and at first it was a vocal tick where I used to make like a sort of oomph sound from the bottom of my throat. And throughout my life, I've noticed that it's become more obvious that I'm different from other people due to just the fact I could go outside, everyone else could just keep an absolute straight face through every scenario, but then I'd be there just like twitching everything, and I've had it all the way through my life. So yeah, as early as 5 to 7 years old, so I was pretty early on in my lifetime. My acute anxiety when I was a kid definitely had a part to play in how frequent my Tourette's were. As I've grown older, I've matured, gotten less anxious, and they haven't gone away. That's when I started to realise that these might not just be nervous tics, this may be something more in-depth and neurological. As a kid, you don't really care about an awful lot. I mean, you could get given a bowl cut by your parents in your kitchen and you wouldn't really care about it. But as I'm growing older, and I'm going to be progressing on to my dream career in maybe the next year or two, I'm just wanting to get every little bit of detail that I can and just try and find out what it is, why it's happened, and if there's anything that I can do to just help ease it or stop it completely. And the way I see it is that, say if I could take you off Tourette's right now and it just went away completely, in what way would that stop me from progressing as the person I would become if I didn't take the cure in the future? So if I took the cure and the tic stopped, I could be a completely different person in the future, because this devil or demon on my shoulder, it wouldn't be there anymore, whispering down my ear, just giving me all these anxious events, stuff like that. I'd probably say if there was a cure, no, because not only has it made me the person I am today, but it's going to make me the person that I will become. When you go into high school, whether it's primary school, secondary school, anything like that, all you want to do as a kid is fit in. And when you start school and all you're doing is ticking and twitching and everything, that's what's going to make you stand out from everyone else, and not really in a good way. So I'd say year 7, that was probably the worst time for me, because I'm trying to make new friends. I'm trying to, focus on my GCSEs, everything like that. There's all these things that are bundling on top of each other. Everyone that I knew, they all, knew about my condition. Some people, they didn't understand it, mostly because they didn't take the time to actually get to know me and to understand the condition itself. But I would definitely say that adjusting to high school with this condition, it was definitely one of the hardest experiences of my life. In terms of, parents splitting up and it affecting my Tourette's, it 100% made it worse, because my Tourette's, how frequently they happen, that stress can be a baseline for that. So with my dad leaving, all this stress that just piled up on top of me in one go, that made my condition much worse. But throughout the years, and I started living with my dad, it's eased off a bit, because I'm back. I've got basically my main role model in my life back, in my life. We both live under the same roof, but yeah, I think just but yeah, my dad leaving, it's something that is going to be in the back of my mind forever. So, what were your first impressions of me when we first met?
Well, I spoke to him before on FaceTime, and we knew each other through friends who. So his friend was mates with my friend, and so I was aware that you had Tourette's. Not that it influences my way of feelings about Jan, but obviously you recognise it. You recognise people look different. There's different things to people. You recognise that I don't have Tourette's, but you have Tourette's. You recognise, like, people have insecurities, but that doesn't change the way you see someone.
No.
And obviously, I see it, and I know it's there, but I'm not looking for it. So now that I know Jan that well, and it's obviously something I see daily, I'm not looking for it, so I don't see it unless it's a new tic or a painful one that hurts him, and I know it's hurt him. It just flies past my head. I don't really think about it.
So, did you ever think that my Tourette's ever had like a part to play in our relationship?
Definitely not. Doesn't change the type of person you are, does it?
No.
Mm-mm.
Not one bit.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Still silly. Still nice. Very nice. Very good looking. Love him lots. Very friendly. Very kind-hearted. Very selfless. And that, your Tourette's don't influence that.
No.
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 Never any less of a person.
Nope. Nope.
We took Jan to see a professional at the age of about 10. I went to take him to see a psychologist at CAMS. And this child and adult mental health service summarised the fact that Jan Willem was definitely on the autistic spectrum, and he did have ADHD. So at that point we had a conclusion that something that we'd suspected but weren't sure of, we had had confirmed to us for him at the age of 10. We noticed when Jan Willem was about 11 years old and he began high school, his journey to high school. This is a very difficult time and quite stressful for people of his age. And when he started high school, he really started to feel like he was a bit like a fish out of water. Mainly because his tics and twitches made his other friends, or so-called friends, ostracise him. They didn't include him in games, they didn't include him in football or things like that, and it made him very anxious about his school, his actual days at school. And he used to come home, he used to be very upset about that. Coupled with the work that was given to him, it was a lot more intense, obviously, at that age. And it was a big change for him. And that's what made his tics and twitches even worse at that point.